From vintage pinball machines to shooting galleries, the Penny Arcade in Manitou Springs is a magical walk back in time for everyone. This indoor-outdoor arcade features over 400 vintage games and outdoor rides. There's something for all ages, with dozens of classic pinball machines that are a throwback to their generation. Such representations like the Beatles, Star Trek, or Street Fighter pinball machines were super popular in their era. And some games even date back to the 1930s, with at least one game that is over 100 years old at the arcade. Some of these old games aren't even games at all, but like those automatron fortune tellers like you saw in the movie Big, or a manliness test where you squeeze a trigger as hard as you can and it spits out a seemingly random judgment, and lets you know if you are a floppy noodle or epitome of masculinity, or anything in between. And the Penny Arcade is mostly true to its name, with plenty of games indeed costing only a penny. But there are many more that cost anywhere from 5 cents up to $1.50. And if the original game only costs a penny, well, that's what you pay. Or if the original price was 10 cents, well, you only pay a dime. The main arcade area is located in downtown Manitou Springs, just off the main street, which is Manitou Avenue. It consists of 8 buildings as well as a covered outdoor area that holds most of the coin-operated rides, which protects them and you from the elements. The outdoor area mostly features rides and coin-operated outdoor games for young kids. These include small carousels, airplanes, animal rides, cartoon characters, and more. And with Patsy's Candy and Gift Shop offering that kind of typical carny food you would expect at a theme park, it only adds to the overall experience. From cotton candy and saltwater taffy to big pretzels and popcorn, eating the food really drives this whole experience home for me. The indoor games are the most popular, as you will find vintage pistol and shooting games, racing games, and more. The main building itself has been around for decades. It features vintage charm with creaky wooden floors and narrow walkways. It really gives you the feel of old arcades on the boardwalks you would see on the piers back east or in Southern California. As you weave in and out of the 8 different buildings, you will find a variety of arcade games. Some buildings feature pool tables or air hockey, pinball machines, those gimmicky games like the fortune teller, or even some mega retro throwbacks like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, or Q*bert. The games at Manitou Springs Penny Arcade require coins to play, so be sure to bring some cash. But if you didn't, there are ATMs scattered throughout the arcade area, and there's also coin machines that will spit out quarters in exchange for bills. Now, for the games that take dimes and nickels and pennies, there are employees that walk around with those coin dispenser belts that you would see on car hops back in the day, that will exchange your money for smaller, less common currencies like the nickels and pennies. So there's no need to run back to your car to raid the coin tray for the few nickels and dimes that you have. Many of the arcade games allow you to earn tickets for playing or winning games. One of the easiest ways to earn tickets is to play skee-ball, which is one of my favorites and is certainly one of the most popular games they have. Despite there being 10 skee-ball tracks to play on, it's easy to find them all taken on the arcade's busier days. Inside the skee-ball building is where you can cash in your winning tickets for prizes and toys. Or watch children go ballistic when they realize that their 50 tickets is not enough for that 4,000-piece Lego set that they had their heart set on. And once you have a certain number of tickets for winnings, cash them in for toys, stuffed animals, inflatable characters, or candy. Now, the arcade amusements in Manitou Springs hours vary depending on the season. During the summer, the amusement zone is open from 10 a.m. to around 10 to 11 p.m. And during the winter, the arcade is open as long as it's warmer than 50 degrees outside. And the winter operating hours are between 11 a.m. and usually 5 p.m., with the machines being turned off overnight. The main arcade area is located just off Manitou Avenue and consists of several buildings as well as a covered outdoor area. The arcade is honestly pretty hard to miss, as it sits right in the center of downtown Manitou Springs proper, surrounded by shops and restaurants. And being that Manitou is basically a suburb of Colorado Springs, it's pretty easy to get to the arcade. Just hop on Highway 24 heading west and you'll pass right by Manitou Springs, so just follow the signs to the town. And as Manitou is a pretty busy tourist destination, the parking is almost all exclusively pay to park. And because Manitou Springs is nestled at the foothills of Pike's Peak, there isn't a lot of room for parking, so bring your walking shoes and be prepared to feed the meter in the same way that you're paying to play the games. Plus, $1 for every hour of parking isn't that bad for such an awesome destination. If you're looking for a long-lost arcade game you haven't played in years, or a unique vintage outdoor ride, you will love the Penny Arcade in Manitou Springs.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to show your support. And to get new videos from us every week, be sure to hit that subscribe button.